Shocking new discovery concerning Obama fraud. Trump discovers Obama was spending $300 million on fake people. The discovery has to do with what someone claimed were fake wages given to ghost people, ghost, quote unquote. This is an article by Ben Markey. Trump discovers Obama was spending $300 million on fake Afghan soldiers. So Trump is giving the Pentagon new orders. Millions of US taxpayer dollars were being foolishly wasted paying for salaries of non-existent ghost people, soldiers, and policemen in Afghanistan under the Obama administration, but there's a lot more. According to the Special Inspector General for Reconstruction in Afghanistan, John Sopko, who recently sat down for an interview with Cheryl Atkinson of Full Measure, the ongoing problem may have been worse than anyone realized, but was being addressed by President Trump's Pentagon. He said, "We've been raising the concern about ghosts going back a number of years. Actually, I want to say we heard about it from Afghan President Ashraf Ghani many years ago. Before he became president, he warned me about quote-unquote ghosts. So we started looking 3 years ago. What we're talking about are policemen, Afghan policemen, Afghan military, civilian servants who don't exist, or they have multiple identity cards and we're paying their salaries. But we, I mean the United States and the international community, and we started finding out that we had no capacity to measure the number of soldiers, teachers, doctors, military people, etc., who we were paying salaries for," end quote. Fox News reported in October that the fraud, this Obama fraud, could have amounted to more than $300 million each year. So we're talking about this times perhaps 8. That would be about $2.5 billion. As if this indicated fraud had been taking place, Sopko replied, quote, "Major fraud. And what's happening is the commanders or generals or other higher officials are actually pocketing these salaries of these so-called ghost people." And I remember President Ghani again said that at the time he wasn't president, saying, "John, you, the United States government, are paying the salaries of an Afghan who's a teacher, a civil servant, a doctor, a policeman, a soldier, at the same Afghan. It's the same Afghan, and he doesn't exist." So it's kind of course, because it's very difficult when you don't read the country of the language of a country. The alphabet is so terribly different. You don't know who's signing and what they're signing. They could be signing anything, and you think it's a different person, whereas it could be some other person, somebody from a payroll department, signing anything and receiving payments for these people. So if these people don't exist, Sopko had alerted the Pentagon on numerous occasions to what he had discovered, this major fraud, in 2016. But little was done to address the issue by the administration of Barack Obama, though Fox News reported that the Pentagon stated at the time they would soon implement certain measures to try and combat the rampant fraud, bilking U.S. taxpayers of hundreds of millions of dollars annually. Guided by the new no-nonsense leadership of Defense Department under Trump, it would appear that those measures, among many others, were being implemented in Afghanistan with measurable results. I would happen to think that this is not only going on in Afghanistan, but in every single country in the Middle East where we have U.S. bases. According to the Independent Journal Review, Atkinson noted that the Pentagon implemented a biometric system that checks such things as fingerprints, photographs, and even blood types in an effort to obtain proof of life of service members in order to weed out the non-existent ghosts, quote unquote, that have cost taxpayers so much money. In fact, the Pentagon claimed it had already enrolled in the program up to 95% of the Afghan police and 70 to 8% of soldiers in that national army. While it's highly doubtful that any of the taxpayer dollars lost through this fraud will ever be recovered, at least steps have been taken to ensure more dollars in the future aren't similarly wasted in a seemingly never-ending bid to reconstruct the Middle East, Afghanistan in this case. So this is on Conservative Tribune.